Hodges in the shotgun on 2nd and 7. He wants to throw. His pass is complete and then knocked down. Loose ball at the 40-yard line. Still in play. And the Ravens recover it at the 35-yard line. Coming up with a loose ball is Marlon Humphrey.
What a play by Humphrey. He tried to do this earlier, and this Schuster shook it off and took it in for a touchdown. This time he hits the bonanza.
I feel like this was redemption right here.
Yeah, that's what it
So
definitely felt
take
like.
me through, because they're saying you can't do that.
It's looking like they're just gonna kind of pick and go down and kick a field goal because it was overtime. Only had to get a field goal to win. And so I'm thinking this is another opportunity to make a play.
Juju Smith-Schuster made the catch. The ball was punched out by Humphrey.
That was a big play. That's good job. Hey, earn your money. I can do that in practice, D. Hey, you stripped it, and then you picked it up. I'm thinking
It was crazy. I didn't really know I hit it out exactly. And
You're just making the tackle.
I just made sure I secured the tackle this time. Usually when guys fumble, they don't really try to resist too much. And as I'm laying on the ground, I'm like, oh, Josh, get the ball. And then he misses it. And I'm like, I'm about to score. I'm thinking I'm gonna score right here. And then Juju comes and tackles me. It was crazy. In the game, it seemed like this whole thing was in slow motion. And I'm just like, Josh is gonna, then he does it. I'm like, how was the ball not out of bounds?
Yeah.
It was a big play, and I think we get a first down and then kick a field goal.
And the Ravens have won it in Pittsburgh in overtime.
Juice and Odell down here at the bottom, right?
Juice and Odell.
So anything about this, just the short motion here from Odell?
This game, my assignment was, to stop Odell. We felt like if we could stop him, we'd have the best chance at. And it was my first time playing him, so my coach is, he's always saying anytime a guy goes in motion or they do a under, try to get right behind him. It's called gesturing. You'll be able to, it's a little cheat. You can put your hand on his back as he's going forward, and you won't be able to hold. But if you're on top of him, as soon as he does that, you're usually gonna think to grab, as opposed to just put your hand on him and pushing him with you along the way.
Like, I haven't seen him run this route many times. Like, this looks a little unusual for me, from him.
Yeah, he stopped in a strange spot. He really pushes it over, and I give him a little small little push in the back,
Yeah.
and
He
came out
complains
great.
about it.
Oh, he did complain about it. I remember.
He's running a shallow route. He's within the 5-yard window. So as long as you're not grabbing him, you feel, you can give him a little push, give him a little shove, right? You're okay as long as the ball's not in the air?
This is true. This is true. I like where your head is. I like it. From a quarterback. From a quarterback.
I know. I feel like sometimes the competitive advantage has gone so far to the offensive side that sometimes I feel they take it away with all these rules. Man, I want you to be at your best, and I want to be able to beat you anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes I see this stuff, and I'm like, come on, man, let him play some ball.
I always think, Marlon, like, teams that run twin sets like this, like, it's sort of gonna dictate whether you're man or zone sometimes. Like, sometimes you would go over to the two receiver side, right? But you're over here on the tight end. Was that by design?
It was by design. Usually we just let that be an undercall and the safety would come down. But we had it to where they were going to have me man up on the tight end and take him on the under.
Here's the same deal. It's not a catch until it's a catch, right?
Same deal. He was actually faster than what I thought, but so he just ran a straight under, and I was still thinking just get the ball out, and a catch isn't a catch. It was a catch.
What's the theory of going, why am I ever putting you on a tight end? Why am I not putting you on, Fitz up there?
Or Christian Kirk.
What is it? Is it to mess with a quarterback? Like, oh, they're going to think we're in zone and we're playing man, but why would they ever do that?
It was all just to look like we're in a different coverage, and then everybody played man.
Gotcha.
Going back to school.
That's
So you're going to get your degree. You move back home.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of guys, you get to this level, like that chapter's over or you're going to complete it some other time. But you're like, I'm walking down the aisle.
I think at Bama, a lot of people talk about Saban, great coach, but what people don't really see is every week, there's a player of the week in the academics, and those were one of the big things after he would get done with the football, whatever speech he said about practice, he would always say something about academics. So it was really big for me to, go back and get that degree, move back in with the mom and dad, stay in my old room. I got asked people, hey, Mom, can I have somebody over? It was funny to be like that, just the respect for my mom and dad.
Sure.
But it felt good to, walk across the stage, get that degree.
So you're in the slot here, Marlon. Like, what's different about being in the slot? Something you had to kind of learn this year on the fly, right?
Yeah, that was a big jump for me this year. I remember my coach came and said it to me. He kind of like hinted that I was gonna do it. And then I was thinking, like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to learn some new stuff. And then the next week he was like, yo, we're actually gonna move you in there. And it was a big adjustment. I had to learn a lot more of the defense, mainly because you just gotta, now you're usually telling the corner what to do, the safety's talking to you, and then sometimes you gotta get in there and get some run fits. So that was, I played a little linebacker.
Marlon Humphrey, my goodness. The mentality of a linebacker, he has played as good as any quarterback in football this season.
He's a cornerback with a linebacker's mentality. He's physical.
Now that you've been put in the slot and you know it's a little bit more of a challenge, what do you got to get better at in the slot if they're going to put you in there more?
It's a lot of times when you can't press in the slot. So work a lot more off coverage. Sometimes we have it to where I get back there and play like a little safety. So they really want the nickel sometimes playing like at a 5 yards from the receiver as opposed to 7 yards when you're outside. So you're put in positions like kind of no man's land a lot more than what you usually are at outside. So all those zone drops we used to practice in training camp that I thought I'd never have to do. I really had to put that to memory.
I see that little smile, like when you're talking about it, like when you're off. I feel like you say to yourself, I'm a little more vulnerable when I'm off than when I'm on. What's that feeling? Something's going on in there when you say that. I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
It's just, it's to me, I feel like a quarterback with off coverage, him and his guy have a connection. It's just catch, boom, and off. Press. You just got time to kind of disrupt the timing and can throw it off. A lot of times, you can jam a guy so bad he can get open at the end of the route, but then the ball, as soon as he turns around, the ball's already gone past him because the quarterback's just used to that time.
I feel like you also see different type of receivers, which are a little bit different than typically your outside guys.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of shorter, quick guys, and I'm like, they love the whip route and
stutter and goes.
They just a lot of, actually, really a whole different route tree.
So what are you seeing here from Beasley on this play right here? Coming on this drag.
I know he's in that relay position, and if I could have this playback, I really would have kept jamming him because I was thinking like, don't hit him too much because then I might get a flag. So that's actually when I initially hit him. And when the ball's thrown, I'm thinking I can pick it, but he's kind of right there, and I should have went over him.
Gallen lucky that ball wasn't picked off. It was hanging in the air for such a long time.
Marcus did not let me live this down. He was telling me for the rest of the game, bro, you don't want interceptions. You don't want interceptions. And I'm like, bro, it was hard to get. He's like, nah, bro. Another time when I realized Marcus is always thinking, any ball goes up, I'm intercepting it.
Sam Darnold wants to throw, has time. Now the blitz comes, and the ball is almost intercepted by Marlon Humphrey.
Their go-to guy right here is Crowder. Their slot receiver. You're staying on his upfield shoulder here?
His upfield shoulder. I thought for a second he was going to do a over until he started going into me. And so that's why I knew he was going to try to create separation.
You knew that from all the study and what he'd been doing.
Another opportunity to get the ball out when it looks like it's going to be a catch, and I was able to break it up.
A bunch of those. Some interceptions here, Marlon. Like, you started early here against the Dolphins, like week 1. It's always good when you start the season.
Always good when you start the season. I know I got speed right here in time to line up against Grant. I definitely was thinking fade right here. Kind of got me a little bit out of the break, but I was able to just come out of it so well and came downhill at an angle. 2 eyes on him, look up, ball was right there, and sit underneath and was able to get the
I'll watch your back pedal here, Marlon. It looks like just textbook. Feet are underneath you right here.
What do you see? Because you say, you got me a little bit, like, I see your hands kind of go a little bit wide there as he gives that stick. That, to me, would say, oh, he caught you a little bit, but then you gathered. So what do you look at, like, if you're self-scouting, what are the things you're looking at on a play like this?
The biggest thing I'm looking is, I kind of want to keep my hands a little bit tighter because your hands are a little bit tighter, you won't really get as out of it. But what I'm also looking at is he rounded the break also because he's just running so fast you can only stop. Like, you're not going to be able to stop, do a true speed out when you're going, that fast. And he ran it kind of higher than a typical speed out. I feel like speed outs are usually a little bit shorter than that. So he kind of ran almost like a deep out. And one of the best things I did out of this was the angle I took out of as opposed to usually when I'm thinking, stay on top and deflect, I was thinking on this one, just go get it.
Great play by Humphrey, who's emerging as one of the better corners in the NFL.
Did you see the release from Rosen?
I saw the release from Rosen. I actually took 2 steps to my man. It was actually, I don't do that all the time, but on this time I did. And as soon as I looked up, the ball was right there.
Because, I mean, you're talking about it. Speed out, what we're saying, right? So he's rolling out of it. That ball's got to be gone. And that's why, because he's
late.
If I'm throwing it late like this, he better be coming back, working down the sideline. He's going out, just like you said. Now he's giving you that opening to go, okay, I got a shot here. Yeah. Because of the late ball, because of the pressure, it all, ties together.
Yeah, it was a play of D-line and everybody really all tuned in together.